Alright, we've got a lot to talk about in the weather forecast today. There's extreme flooding and possibly tornadoes moving into the south. We got maybe a foot of snow in the Midwest, and then I'm also going to give an update on that bomb cyclone that was supposed to hit the Northeast. Original models were saying 2 feet of snow for Massachusetts and Maine. Well, it's interesting to see what they're saying now. Before we get started, I will say I make these forecast videos every single morning, so if you enjoy following the weather, or you end up enjoying this video, you can subscribe to my channel. Alright, diving in here, this is showing how much rain is hitting the south between Tuesday and Friday. It's Thursday now, so majority of this rain has already accumulated, but there's still some more to come. As you can see, there's a bullseye of 3 inches in Mississippi, we got 4 inches in Alabama, and then parts of Georgia and South Carolina working into that above 5-inch range. So guaranteed you're getting some flooding with this. Let's take a look at it as it comes in. So this is showing what it looks like right now. This is 7 a.m. Thursday morning, and you see this low moving into Mississippi, and really the bulk of this rain building into eastern Alabama and basically the entire state of Georgia. Now keep your eye on Georgia here. Remember, they've already had a ton of rain with this one. So all of this rain is just going to be putting on more and more on top of what's already there. So Thursday at 7 a.m., most of Georgia getting some heavy rain, and then it really starts to build in by about 1 p.m. today. You can see they're going to be getting half an inch per hour. So if you're getting a half an inch an hour, you can imagine what you pick up in 2 hours. Well, another 2 inches. And I believe they've already had about 3 inches, so they get another 2, they're at 5. And then that low is finally gone on Thursday at 7 p.m. And it's about time. That low has been moving through the south. Basically, it got there on Monday, and it's taken all the way to Thursday evening to move out of the region. So it's good to see it's finally going to be gone by the end of the day today. So this is what they picked up just this morning. You see parts of Mississippi got 1.5 inches just this morning. This is before I'm filming this video, and it's only 7 a.m. right now. And then you see central parts of Alabama, they got 1 inch too. Northern parts of Georgia got another 1.5 inches. And then remember that one cell where we saw that half an inch per hour? Well, that really starts to build in right there in southern parts of Georgia. And I haven't mentioned Florida yet, but Florida's getting a good amount of rain with this one too. They're going to get another inch, maybe another 2 inches today. And then you see that continue to build in by Thursday at 7 p.m. Georgia getting another 2 inches. So remember I said they already had 3 and they're getting another 2 today. There's also a tornado warning in the southern parts of Georgia and in northern Florida. So that's something to watch out for. If you have a weather app and you live down there, maybe turn on notifications for today. Actually, it'd be smart to turn them on for the rest of the season. It's been wild in the southeast recently. So let's look at what's driving all this rainfall. And it's been the same story all week. It's this low, slowly moving through the region. And what it does is it brings in warm air and moisture. And you can actually see it perfectly on this map. I just noticed this. See the continent here? It's in the green coloring. That means it's in the low to mid 50s. And then you see the water right here. It's almost looking red. So that means maybe 75, 80 degrees. Now think about the air above that water. It's extremely warm too. So when the counterclockwise winds around this low push that warm air in, you can actually see it creeping in to southern Georgia there. That warm air is less dense than this cold air. So it's going to get pushed up. When it gets pushed up, creates a bunch of clouds. It has a bunch of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, drops it right on southern Georgia. That was right where we saw those huge accumulations, and it's right where that warm air is lifting up above the cold air. It's one of my favorite things to look at on these maps. Now the other thing going on is this low that's moving through the Midwest. And what that's going to do is bring some really good snow accumulations to parts of Michigan, some snow to Wisconsin, and even into Ohio a little bit. The other thing it's going to do is bring in some of that cold air. And you're going to see that cold air start to creep down into Minnesota. Minnesota at about 4 p.m. today, you're going to be below freezing, and that's going to be the story until you get to the weekend. So as that low moves through, you see those below freezing temperatures start to mix into Wisconsin. Ooh, 21 degrees. And the thing to look at here is right here. That is the northern strip of Michigan, and that's where we're going to be seeing a lot of snowfall with this one. And it is 100% to do with these strong winds you see moving over Lake Superior. And what that does, it's basically just lake effect snow. That cold, dry air moves over the warm, moist lake, and it's the same story as what happens in the southeast, but it's way up here. The cold, dry air moves over, it picks up a bunch of warm air and moisture, and then it rises. And then once it rises, drops maybe a foot of snow on the Midwest. So as we click through, you see those cold temperatures continue to fill through. That's going to be interesting to watch throughout the day today and Friday, how cold it can get down there. So this is showing what it looked like this morning at about 1 a.m. Already some snow building into Wisconsin. Then you see that really heavy band of snowfall start to build into Wisconsin right now, 7 a.m. Thursday morning. And then the western portions of the state are going to be more in that rain area. There is when the low moves through and really drops some good rain on northern Michigan. Now, take a look at those rates. That's about 0.2 inches per hour. That's why they're getting so much accumulation. And again, it's all because of that lake effect that's leading to rising motion, and then it's cold up there, so you get some snow. As that low moves through, you see those heavy rates continue for northern Michigan, and then even build into the northeastern part of the state. And it's almost like a perfect horseshoe around Michigan right there. We'll see if that can drop a little farther south so they can pick up even more snow. And then you see it kind of dissipate and spread out throughout the entire region. Ohio gets a little bit with this one, and then it moves off by Friday at about 1 p.m. This is gone. So basically from Thursday morning at 1 a.m., Wisconsin was getting some snow, and then as we move into right now, Michigan really starts to pick it up, and then it's gone by Friday at about 1 p.m. So let's take a look at the accumulations, and that is the area you're going to want to keep your eye on because that's where you're going to see the best accumulations. See Wisconsin though, getting some nice snow with this one. That lake effect snow, maybe 5 inches throughout the day Thursday, and then building into Friday, this is when we'll go to Friday at about 7 a.m. Northern Michigan says 9 inches. I'm thinking it's going to be about a foot of snow because those winds going over Lake Superior, they looked really strong. So that's going to lead to a lot of lake effect snow. And then you can see northeastern parts of Michigan get maybe 2 to 3, maybe 5 inches with this one. Real bullseye though is right there. Possibly a foot of snow. And then Ohio, not much, maybe an inch. The other big story, and this is the one I've been talking about all week long, is that bomb cyclone that is supposed to hit the Northeast. I put quotes around it because everyone got so excited, including me. I got really excited when I saw the model run on Sunday and it said 2 feet of snow for Massachusetts and southern Maine, and everything was just coming together. And it still looks like everything's coming together except for one thing. And I'll show you what that thing is. So the first thing you want to check off is a trough moving through the area. And you see that's the trough that's bringing snow to Michigan, and that trough moves right through the Northeast and it hits the Northeast on Friday afternoon. So that's one thing. They've got a big trough moving through. The other thing, if you want huge snow accumulations, a dip in the jet stream. That's going to bring a ton of energy to your area. Well, we got that dip in the jet stream over the Midwest. By Friday, that dip in the jet stream hits the Northeast. Another check. The other thing you want is cold air. Well, that low that moves through the Midwest is going to bring cold air down to basically the entire Northeast. So the cold air is there as well. Another check. What's the last box? You need moisture. And this low in the Southeast, it's been collecting moisture and collecting energy for basically all week. And then the original models were showing, this is where it goes wrong. The original models were showing this low that has the energy and moisture combining, colliding, and just exploding on the Northeast on about 1 p.m. on Friday, and they were going to hit just right over Massachusetts. And watch what happens. Instead of just smashing together over Massachusetts, this low that came up from the southeast moves off into the Atlantic. That is the one thing that just ruined this bomb cyclone. This low originally was hugging the coast, and then those two lows were going to combine. Now it's moved off into the Atlantic, and the other one's just kind of going to get absorbed into it. There's still going to be some snow, so let's take a look at what it looks like. Kind of disappointing, and it's all because the low moved off. Every other box was checked. Had the trough, jet stream, cold air, energy, and moisture. It just moved off into the Atlantic instead of hitting the Northeast. So let's take a look as it moves through. There's that low that moved through the Midwest. See, precipitation is snow because the air is cold. There's that low that's moving up from the southeast. Precipitation is rain because it has all that warm Gulf of Mexico and Gulf Stream air. And then instead of colliding over the Northeast on Friday at about 1 p.m., that more northern low is just going to get kind of sucked into the other one. But you're still going to get some good snow, especially in the Appalachians in West Virginia. They're going to pick up actually some great accumulations with this one. And then Western New York. That's some decent snowfall right there. So the storm's not a complete dud. Something's still going to happen. See, Vermont, New Hampshire, going to pick up a little bit too. But really, Western New York, that, again, the lake effect that we saw in Michigan, same thing is going to be happening here, but with Lake Ontario. The winds are going to be coming down, air rises up, drops a bunch of snow in Western New York. You see that snow builds into more southeast New York by about Saturday at 1 in the morning. Vermont still getting a little bit, but again, so disappointing compared to what it originally showed. I think let's keep an eye on eastern Massachusetts. That's where they were originally saying was going to get 2 feet of snow. Now they get this one little dash Saturday at 1 in the morning. Well, let's take one last look at the accumulations that we're going to get with this, because there are still some decent accumulations. The storm's not a complete dud. So as it moves through, keep an eye on Western New York and West Virginia. See it move through? West Virginia in the higher elevation places, that part of the Appalachians gets up to about 5,000 feet. So that's why we're going to see maybe 5 to 6 inches of snow in that area. While as Western New York could be getting in that 5 to 6 inch range as well with the lake effect coming off Lake Ontario. Oh, Vermont getting an inch, but I'm sighing because Massachusetts, oh, you're probably so excited because you thought this bullseye right here was going to be right over your state. But as of right now, it's not looking too good. But again, forecast models change. So if you want to stay updated with those models, you can subscribe to Holt Hanley Weather. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning to do these forecast videos, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. In fact, I might have already done another forecast video by the time you're watching this one. So check out my forecast playlist and subscribe to Holt Hanley Weather. Thanks for watching.